This is Viewpoint.
Welcome to Viewpoint. I'm Doug Petcash. Here on Viewpoint, we focus on politics, government, and issues affecting the people of Idaho, as well as culture, the arts, and science. We rarely, if ever, talk about sports, but today, that's what we're going to do. The 33rd Albertsons Boise Open tees off later this week. It runs Thursday to Sunday, August 18th through the 21st at Hillcrest Country Club. Professional golfers on the Korn Ferry Tour will compete for a total purse of $1 million. Thousands of fans will follow these highly skilled players along the fairways and around the greens. But the tournament is about more than golf. Over the last 3 decades, it has become part of the summer fabric of Boise. Yes, it's a long weekend of sports entertainment for fans and families. It's also become known for 3 nights of post-golf concerts by well-known performers. This year, country band Midland, Billy Idol, and Train will take the stage right on the 18th fairway. And the Open has a long-lasting impact on the community in terms of charity. Over the life of the tournament, it has given more than $30 million in donations to area nonprofits. Last year alone, the donation was $2.9 million. This year, the tournament will build on its 3+ decade history, a history KTVB's Mark Johnson encapsulated in a half-hour special back in 2019 when the Albertsons Boise Open marked its 30th year.
September of 1990, the inaugural Boise Open on the Hogan Tour. Ricky Smallridge picked up the $20,000 first place prize money with a 3-shot victory after carding a 14 under in the 3-round event. That first year began a tradition that remains today as hundreds of volunteers and gallery members followed the final group up the hill to the finish line. The next 10 years saw a line of champs use the Boise Open as a stepping stone, either back to or to the PGA Tour for the very first time. Players like Jaime Gomez, Matt Gogol, and Tim Clark. The 2000s saw the Albertsons Boise Open elevate in local and national popularity, with Golf Channel showing all 4 days of the event around the nation and around the world. And with it, names like Jason Gore in 2002, Kevin Stadler in 2006, Hunter Haas in 2010, and Jason Kokrak in 2011, given standing ovations on Sunday afternoon as they held the trophy high after 72 holes. The past 10 years again saw the event increase in status and purse, now up to a total of $1 million for those that make the weekend cut. The winners share $180,000. And for players like Kevin Tway in 2013, Martin Pillar in 2015, Chesson Hadley in 2017, and last year's winner, Sang Moon Bae. What a way to kick off a career in professional golf. But while golf is the centerpiece of this event, it is only one part of the week-long celebration. A celebration that has included some of the world's best-known names from the music world. Names like Glenn Campbell, Smokey Robinson, Vince Gill, the Smothers Brothers, and many more have come to Idaho's capital city during the week to entertain thousands. And then there were the celebrities, the greats of golf, football, and broadcasting, including the man many consider to be the greatest of all time, the King. Arnold Palmer played a 9-hole exhibition on September 11th of 2000. On the day after his 71st birthday, and a packed Hillcrest Country Club gallery loved every minute.
And the tournament also wouldn't be possible without an army of 750 volunteers. Today, we're focusing on the past, present, and future of the Albertsons Boise Open. My guest is a man who has been there from the very beginning, Tournament Executive Director Jeff Sanders. Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning, Doug. Great to be with you.
Thank you for your time. So, Jeff, you started this tournament. Why did you think it would work here?
You know, I'm from Portland, Oregon, and I came over to Boise, Idaho in the late 80s, and at the perfect time, really. We thought first and foremost, having an event in Boise that would deliver dollars to charity, and if we could somehow convince Albertsons to be the sponsor, we'd have the best sponsor we could possibly imagine. And luckily, it all worked out. Joe Albertson, Warren McCain, Gary Michael, John Carley, those were the people back then that I met with, and somehow convinced them to put their name on this tournament with a 1-year contract, Doug. And here we are 33 years later. I was watching your video, obviously, and and I got to tell you, it is pretty emotional for me. 33 years coming over to Boise, Idaho. I feel like it's a second home for me. I know so many people, so many friends, and it's just been an unbelievable run. And it's not over. We're gonna have a great week next week.
So, what was the prize money purse in 1990?
In 1990, the Ben Hogan Boise Open presented by Albertsons was $100,000, and first place is 18%, so $18,000. And we gave $25,000 to charity and thought we hit a grand slam home run. And everybody was really happy. And so we got a second year. And so at flash forward 33 years later, the purse is 10 times. It's now $1 million. And first place is 180,000. So it's also 10 times. So It's crazy. It's been an unbelievable run, like I said, and Albertsons has been the key for sure.
So back in 1990, what were the accommodations for the players?
Well, most of them slept in their car. The guys drove the tour back then. They didn't fly. They didn't have the money to fly, so they drove the tour. And there were about 30 events that first year. And, most of the guys would drive their cars to the tournaments. They'd stay in the local motels in Boise. We didn't have some of the places we have now, like the Grove and others, and Hotel 500 and things, even Hotel 43. I don't think they were here. And so they would shower at the club, and they would do anything they could do to cut costs. They were playing out of their trunk, and a lot of them didn't have much money, if any, but they had a passion and a dream. And this tour has fulfilled so many dreams for so many great players. As a matter of fact, over the years, there's been I think 6 guys right now today in the top 10 in the world. 6 guys who played the Albertsons Boise Open, and so it's the pathway to success and to becoming a star on the PGA Tour.
And who are some of those big name golfers who have played in the tournament?
Well, Justin Thomas, Bubba Watson, Scotty Scheffler, Cam Smith, Patrick Cantlay. There's so many. I mean, I could go on and on. But those are the guys that are playing great right now, winning tournaments on tour. Ricky Fowler played. We've had a great field, and so I love watching the tournaments on the weekend, and it brings back memories of the guys I watched, on the fairways of Hillcrest Country Club.
We were watching that video that Mark put together a few years ago. What are a couple of your favorite memories or moments over the years?
Arnold Palmer. Mr. Palmer, I had the opportunity in my life to play golf with Mr. Palmer 3 times. And he was my guy. He was when I was starting golf at age 14. He was the king, and in my life he was always the king. So when we got Arnold to come on his birthday, wear his pink shirt and his little umbrella on his collar, and come and play in Boise, it was unbelievable. No one had seen Arnold Palmer in Boise, so it was the first time he'd ever been there. That was a big highlight. I also think when all of a sudden we were on the Golf Channel and we were showcasing Boise, Idaho, and Hillcrest Country Club around the world. That was a big deal. That was really cool. And the charity dollars that we've been able to raise for the community, and what those dollars have done for the community and for those in need, has also been a highlight for sure, Doug.
You mentioned $25,000 donation that first year. Last year, $2.9 million, pushing the total over the years to more than $30 million. How does that total rank, or last year's total or overall, how does that rank on the Korn Ferry Tour in terms of charitable donations?
Well, first of all, thank you for the question. Number 1 by far on the Korn Ferry Tour at $30 million. And this year, next week, we're going to add to that in a big way. So number 1 on the Korn Ferry Tour, I think I've actually had some people at the PGA Tour say to me things like, that might be, the amount of money you've raised for charity in Boise might be as much as all the other tournaments combined over the years. And I laugh, but maybe it's true. I don't know. But we're proud of it. We're proud of it. We've had an unbelievable amount of support. Like you said, 750, 800 volunteers. We had the same title sponsor for 33 years, and we're going to have at least 3 more. That's unheard of in golf. Most of the times, a company will put their name on a golf tournament, and they'll be on there for 5, maybe 7, maybe 10 years max. And we're going to tee it up in Boise for at least 36 years with the same sponsor, the same golf courses, Hillcrest, Drain Creek, and Spurwing, and the same people running it somehow. So it's amazing, really. I pinch myself almost every day.
Well, you're the consistent face and force behind all of this. Speaking of the charity, why is it so important to you to have a charitable component with this?
Well, it's important to the sponsor. When you've been the dominant retailer in Boise for a long, long time, you want to give back, and that was the number one reason that the former CEO, great man Warren McCain, decided to do the tournament. It really wasn't for advertising or promotion. It was to give back to the community of Boise, Idaho. And remember, he told me, we got to get at least 25,000, Jeff. And I said, all right, we'll get it done. But no, giving back is the key. And that's why it's so important to raise as many dollars as we can. The sponsors of the tournament that come in from all over the United States and a number of great companies in Boise have been the pillars of this event for 33 years. They really are the ones who provided most of the charitable contributions that come from this event. And so we've been lucky to have this year, for example, we didn't have one sponsor that sponsored the tournament in 2021 that did not come back and sponsor the tournament in 2022, which again is unheard of. Normally somebody would drop out, Doug.
Yeah.
We didn't have anybody drop out, and we added a few new ones. So it's awesome.
So what makes it possible to raise so much money when a ticket to watch golf and the concert that night is only $25?
Sponsorships. You got to sell sponsorships. Okay. Yeah, the money comes from selling sponsorships. Things like, presented by sponsors, Chevron, huge sponsor, great partner of Albertsons, great partner of the tournament. Hershey sponsors our Pro-Am, have for 15 years or more. We've got, the concerts are sponsored by 3 protein companies, the Cokes, the Pepsis, the Mondeleezas, the Kellogg's. They come in and they get behind this tournament, and they support Albertsons and they support the event. And I don't want to leave anybody out, but there's 150
Sure.
sponsors, so my apologies for not naming them all right now. But we've got some amazing partners, and they make it happen.
And the $25 you say that people play, that actually goes straight to the charity, the nonprofit donation, right?
That's right. So here's the model. When you buy one ticket, that one ticket gets you in to watch the tournament during the day and also the concert at night. So the model is called Golf by Day, Music by Night. So we turn the 18th fairway at Hillcrest into a concert venue where about 10,000 people can stay after they watch golf and take in the concert, or they can come out in the afternoon late and watch the concert. So at the end of the day, the model works fantastic. It adds more value, and 100% of every dollar, every ticket sale dollar goes to charity in Boise. And you have to select a charity on the drop-down menu. There's 40 charities that you have to check a box where you want your ticket purchase to go. And we make sure that all those charities get the money. Last year, the Humane Society was number 1. They more people check their box than anybody else's, but no. So 100% of ticket sales goes to charity, and that's the model.
Well, Jeff, we're going to take a time out right now because so far we focused on the Boise Albertsons Open's past. Up next, the present. What to expect this year. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Viewpoint. Today we're looking at the past, present, and future of the Albertsons Boise Open. Now we turn to the present with my guest, Tournament Executive Director Jeff Sanders. Jeff, can you describe who the players are in this tournament? Are they PGA players? Are they trying to make the PGA? How would you describe that?
Well, it's pretty interesting. It's actually a makeup this year in the Albertsons Boise Open, Doug, the top 75 money winners on the Korn Ferry Tour for the year, which they're all invited, and they're going to compete against the bottom 75 players who played on the PGA Tour this year. So when you combine the Korn Ferry Tour top 75 and the PGA Tour bottom 75 from 2022, you come up with a field of 150 players. And that's how the field is put together. And so now these guys are playing the finals events, which we're one of, to see who's going to get their PGA Tour card to go out and play on the PGA Tour next year. So this event is under the spotlight, under the microscope. This is a huge event for those players because now they've got to go out and earn their card over the next 3 or 4 weeks on the Korn Ferry Tour to see who's going to play, who's going to advance to the PGA Tour. So there's a lot of guys that are their career is on the line.
So this is the first of, what is it, 3 finals tournaments?
Yeah.
And
that's correct.
Does it whittle down the field as they go through the tournament?
It does. 156 goes down to 120, goes down to like 78. So you get dropped off as you go, and then the Tour Championship's the final event. So we're the first one. We like being first because the guys are coming in, and if you once you play well enough to make enough money to secure your card, some of the guys don't play in the last 1 or 2 events. So we always get a fantastic field that's going to play in our first event of 150 pros.
And it's going to be on Golf Channel again this year, right?
It is. It's going to be on the Golf Channel, and it's going to be on the Golf Channel Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And we've done the Golf Channel now for many years, and it's going to be awesome.
How big of a deal is that for Boise and for the tournament to have that national exposure?
It's really important. I think, it adds value for why an Albertsons would sponsor the tournament. It showcases their hometown, and I think it just adds a lot of value and a lot of cachet to the event to be on television, because again, it's not just the golf, but it's also the cameras around town filming the highlights and the high points of Boise. So we want to be on the Golf Channel because we want to obviously show the talent of the players, but also show the community and the great city of Boise, Idaho.
And let's talk about the fan experience a little bit. We talked about, of course, they can see the golf and the concerts for $25. What else is going on, before the tournament and during that the fans would enjoy?
Well, the Albertsons Pavilion is on the back of the 16th green. We've made it much larger. It's a par 5, and so there's a lot of birdies made there. And when you make a birdie on 16, the beers all go to, I think, half price. So because there's so many birdies, Doug, that it's basically half price beer all day out there. So there's a lot of fun around 16. 16, 17, and 18 is where all the action is. And most people gravitate down there and they watch golf on the last 3 holes, and they have a drink, have lunch, kind of get around. And then as soon as the golf is over, as you mentioned earlier, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday nights, we've got 3 amazing concerts. Thursday night, the fan experience is amazing because Thursday night, I went to Stagecoach this year down in La Quinta, part of the the Coachella Valley Music Fest, and I went out there to see Midland, and they were awesome. They ended with Tom Petty's song Mary Jane, which was amazing. These guys are talented. They're awesome. So they're going to play Thursday night right after golf. As soon as golf is over, everyone moves over to the music venue, takes in the concert. And then Friday night, we've hired Billy Idol a few times. He's sold out first, and he always does. He's 60 years old, I think, something around there, but he still performs like he's 30. And he puts on one heck of a show. His lead guitar player, Steve Stevens, can still really go.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Monahan on Saturday night at Train, which is the great way to finish it off Saturday night.
Mark talked about some of the big names over the years, Smothers Brothers, Smokey Robinson, Vince Gill. Do you always go for variety in the tournament?
We do. I mean, we try to have a little of everything. Like this year, we've got a country band Thursday night. We've got rock and roll Friday and more of a contemporary rock on Saturday. So we try to deliver some different genres so people that like different kinds of music can come out. But I have to tell you that the 2 that just seem to draw the fans and sell out first, your country in Boise and rock and roll, classic rock. People love it. And so, I mean, Sammy Hagar was amazing last year. He brought along Rick Springfield. Rick did a great job, and they substituted, had to do a second night because the REO Speedwagon band got COVID. So luckily, I've known Sammy a long time, and he said he stayed an extra day and brought in Rick, and they did a heck of a job. So no, you want to mix it up a little bit and bring some different types of music to the table for different people that like different types of music.
And Jeff, we just have a few seconds left, or about 30 seconds left in this segment. Tell us what you do for veterans.
Well, on the 10th hole, there's a place where the veterans can go. It's a skybox. Everything is free. We give them the tickets. They can go down. They have a great seat on the 10th green. And as far as we're concerned, if you're a veteran, you are golden. I mean, we take care of them, and we want them to come, and we make it easy for them, and we hope they enjoy their time. But that's also a very special part of this event, is we honor the veterans every year and have since day one, Doug.
All right, we've looked at the past and the present. Up next, the future of the Albertsons Boise Open. Finally, today we're looking to the future of the Albertsons Boise Open with Tournament Executive Director Jeff Sanders. But first, Jeff, you wanted to clarify something about the way the finals tournaments work this year.
That's right. So new this year, what's going on here is that the first three tournaments, we're one of three tournaments, Doug, and the field size does stay the same. I was just thinking in my mind, that's next year they're going to make that change. And then the final event, which is the Tour Championship, they cut down to about 70 pros. So So you're going to be able to see the full field, the first three tournaments. So I was thinking about next year. I want to make that correction.
And let's talk now about the future, too, here. You mentioned that there will be a 34th Open, and actually more than that, right?
That's right. We signed a 5-year contract with Albertsons to run the tournament. And so years 32, 3, 4, 5, and 6, I guess. 32, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. And so 5 years. And so this is the second year. We have 3 more after this. And with the PGA Tour as well. So we're in great shape, and with the club, with Hillcrest. So everything is locked in and ready to go.
Any new features next year that you can tell us about or hint at now?
I'm not sure there's going to be much new next year. We're always looking for new things that we can do. We'd like to continue to bring this festival atmosphere to the tournament, focus heavily on entertainment, entertaining the fans in different ways. We've talked about doing some things that might make some sense, but I'm going to keep those up my sleeve, Doug.
Okay.
And let everybody know that next year.
And when does planning for next year start?
The day after this year. In the event business, Doug, what you want to do is you want to quickly critique before you lose your memory and find opportunities to improve. And everybody gets together. We always have a get together, everybody on our team, and we seek feedback from our sponsors, from our volunteers, from the members, from the players. We get all of that, and then we have our own feedback, and we identify opportunities to get better before we forget what those might be, and we put them in play. It's like remodeling a house.
That's all of our time, Jeff. I'm sorry, but thank you so much for your time, and safe travels here to Boise, and enjoy the big week.
Thanks for having me. It's going to be a great week next week, Doug. Thank you very much.
Take care of yourself. And thank you so much for watching. I'm Doug Petcash. I'll see you next time.